What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Manchester United versus West Brom 1-0 match reaction. Manchester United come up with a crucial victory to seal the deal against West Brom 1-0. Very, very interesting game to watch. Very, very interesting game to cover. And honestly, the first thing, and pretty much the only thing I can say about this game is that we were good and average at the same time. And I know that's difficult to explain, but I guess the best way to put it is when we were fighting out of the press that West Brom did put us in a lot, when we were fighting out, making the passes, and ultimately getting back on defense, putting our own press on, winning the ball back very, very quickly. I thought we were very, very good in that area. And I think that really stood out in terms of our midfield, because I think our midfield clearly won the game today for Manchester United, especially towards the attacking end and the defensive end. The midfield partnership between Matic and Fred was strong. Bruno Fernandes was spectacular today, and the midfield overall helped us win that game, and winning the ball back and pressing was the reason for that. However, creating opportunities, meaningful opportunities, and allowing your attacking players like Rashford, Martial, Cavani, Mata, Bruno, a lot of the opportunities that we created were very lackluster. And some of the good opportunities that we did create was obviously saved from Sam Johnson, who is a former Manchester United goalkeeper, had a fantastic performance today. Ultimately, I think we could have easily won this game more than 1-0, so I'm not going to go too in on this team, because the fact of the matter is the goalkeeper really absolutely kept them in that game. But the reality is that's West Brom, and we've actually failed to score an open field goal against them. And that is a big concern, because they were not great today. West Brom were not a good side today. Yes, they had very good opportunities, hit the crossbar, a corner that went just over. And they created a lot of issues for Manchester United with a few chances. But overall, I can't sit here and say West Brom had a fantastic game and we struggled. We struggled, but they didn't play that great. So there's worrying signs there. But nevertheless, at this point in time, especially where we are in the league, I can't complain about a victory, a 1-0 victory. I can't really complain about having a win against West Brom, because we need that win. We are now 13 points. I believe we are slightly ahead of Manchester City, who lost today against Tottenham. And we are 7 points away from first place, which we still have a long upfield battle to try and make a claim for the top four. Now, this game was very controversial as well, because both teams received penalties, and West Brom's penalty got ruled out and ours did not. And that is a key part of the game, obviously, as we scored from the penalty spot. Now, to talk about the penalties, because ultimately that's where the goals came, the West Brom penalty that they received, in my opinion, probably should have stood, because the fact of the matter is there is contact on him. I understand he gets the ball first, and that's why they obviously didn't give the penalty. And the referee obviously would know better than me, which is why he made the call, saying it's not a penalty, even after looking at it. So fair play. I 100% would take that. Again, it's a soft penalty, but Manchester United's penalty from West Brom was also a soft penalty. So the fact is, there's a little bit of unfairness, I guess you could say, for West Brom. I'm sure they will feel like they were hard done by, not receiving a penalty, then ended up giving one away very harshly to Manchester United. And obviously Sam Johnson saving the first one was off his line, so he had to take that again. I have no issues with that. Rules are rules. You need to stick by them. That happened to us at the beginning of the season, where David De Gea did the same thing, and they retook it, and I was fine with that then. I'm fine with it now. The rules are there. It's a stupid rule, to be honest, but the fact is the rule is there for you to abide by, and that's exactly what should have happened. And we scored the penalty. Of course, Bruno Fernandes was the goal scorer. Yeah, honestly, this game, I don't know how I'm gonna rate this game in terms of player ratings, because so many players were just pretty average, to be honest. I mean, the defense was very average today. Some of the midfield was good, and our attackers were average today. So I think to say that we deserve this victory is definitely right. We should win this game. We deserve to win the game, and we did win the game. That's how it should go against a team like West Brom, who are championship level, to be honest, and that was a championship side that we saw. So we should have won this game. We should have won it by more, but we won it. And that's all I can really say. Now, I know people are going to be complaining because at the end of the day, we can't break teams down, and that could definitely go down to coaching. But if anybody's Ollie out after today, if you weren't Ollie out already, if you switched on today, I don't see the reason why you would, because I would never switch to... I'm still Ollie in, even by a little bit. I would never switch to Ollie out with a victory. Just no matter how bad the victory is. I mean, even the Brighton one was ridiculous, how we got that victory. But enough about that. Let's go to the player ratings for Manchester United. David De Gea gets a 7 out of 10 for me. World-class save to keep us in the game. That could have easily been a draw for West Brom. He had a few shots that were unsavable that luckily... was hit by the crossbar and obviously went over the net. But the one that he was able to save, he did save. World-class save with his feet. Again, he's proving that he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world all over again. And it kind of sucks that that moniker of him being a good goalkeeper went away for a bit. But he's had a spectacular season so far. I know the stats won't show that. But again... I've seen a lot of goalkeepers this year in the Premier League that are having great seasons that the stats don't show. The Newcastle goalkeeper, for example, is having a terrific year, yet the stats won't show that because of how many goals Newcastle concede. And it's very, very similar with David De Gea. Now, people are not going to say David De Gea is one of the best goalkeepers in the world anymore, but he's a very good goalkeeper. I still think he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and I think he's showing it very, very convincingly. If you watch the Manchester United games, it's very tough for Dean Henderson at the moment. I feel really bad for him, but at the end of the day, when David De Gea is in this type of form, it's going to be very difficult to take his place away as the #1 goalkeeper. Juan Mata today, I thought, had an average game, a 6 out of 10 game, to be honest. Didn't make too much defensive plays and didn't make too much offensive plays. The game didn't really come towards his side. It was really targeted towards the left-hand side. A lot of the opportunities came from the left. And again, he was out of position a few times, which is a big issue with Juan Mata. He tends to go out of position. He's not a natural right wing back. So obviously... his positioning is off sometimes, and that's exactly what happened. So that's where I see Aidan Wan-Bissaka's performance today. He made one tackle of notice that I realised pretty late in the game, slide tackle against obviously a West Brom player. And yeah, that's all I really noticed from Aidan Wan-Bissaka today. Pretty solid performance. Victor Lindelof. Now, Victor Lindelof, in my opinion, was decent today. I'm not going to give him a 7 because I think that's a stretch. I think none of the defenders probably deserve the 7s out of 10s, to be honest. So I'm going to give him a 6. The way that he read the play today is what really stood out to me. He read Harry Maguire's mistakes, and there was a key part of the game where Harry Maguire was beaten with a through ball, and Lindelof read the play. Now, at the end of the day, that is a big issue that we see from Manchester United centre-backs, is that Lindelof is too slow to read the play and Harry Maguire is too slow in pace. And both of them are not that quick either. So reading the play today was essential for a player like Victor Lindelof, because Harry Maguire got beaten a lot with the through ball. And Victor Lindelof covered his back very, very well. And I think that's why a clean sheet was kept a lot of the time. And I think he had a decent game and a decent showing of himself today. So I'm giving him a 6 out of 10. Harry Maguire, a game of two halves, to be honest. In the first half, I thought Harry Maguire was superb. And I was going to say he was on par to becoming probably the man of the match for that game, especially when it was 0-0 for a lot of it. In the second half, he became a little bit more quiet. Again, he looked a little bit lazy in the second half. I mean, there was a long ball right towards Harry Maguire's position, but where is Harry Maguire? He was in the midfield. That's not acceptable. You need to run back to your position. And luckily, David De Gea, again, saved Manchester United from a very easy goal West Brom could have scored. So, yeah, Harry Maguire needs to do better with that. That was a key noticeable thing that I saw throughout the game. Harry Maguire needs to get back into position. But again, other than that, Harry Maguire had a steady game once again, kept a clean sheet, so I'm sure his confidence will be elevated from that, and that's all you want to see. I'm giving him a 6 out of 10, a game of two halves, really. That's all I can really say on the matter. Hopefully he can pick it up for Istanbul, because I'm sure he's going to play there, and then we also have Southampton next. Big games coming ahead. Hopefully he'll be ready for it, and he can keep more clean sheets. Alex Telles. First things first, I'm very happy to see Alex Telles playing for Manchester United. Again, one of the more exciting players to watch in Manchester United squad today. Everybody was looking forward to seeing Alex Telles play his first game in the Premier League. And ultimately, did he have a good game? I would say he had an average game. He had an average game. Not really many crosses into the box. He took a few corners. This was a steady performance from Alex Telles. Defensively, he was fine. Offensively, he could do more. But at the end of the day, you could see that his teammates are still adjusting to Alex Telles' presence. Alex Telles loves to keep the ball on the left, it looks like. That's the first thing I noticed. His aim is to try and keep things on the left side, pass the ball on the left side. And I think when players will be able to read him, I think they could do. I think there could be good partnerships with Martial and Telles, Rashford and Telles, and to an extent Cavani and Telles, which I'll get into later. But yeah, I thought Alex Telles has a steady game. 6 out of 10 for me. Did very, very well, and hopefully we can see him get consistently better over time. Champions League, he should be playing in that game too. I think the Champions League will suit him much more than the Premier League just because of the fact that the Champions League is a little bit lower pace. West Brom were quick and fast today, and we had to respond by being quick and fast, and that ultimately is a very tough environment to put yourself in because the Premier League's the fastest league in the world, really, and if you're gonna it's very tough to adapt to. But hopefully that game will give him more confidence to do so in the future. Let's go on to the midfield. CDM Fred. I thought Fred had a great game today. Again, there were a few turnovers, a few sloppy first touches and misplaced passes. But again, the attempts to pull through players like Martial was there. The intent to win the ball back, the tenacity, the making up of the ground. I thought Fred had a very, very good game today. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. I thought he was that good. Honestly, with Fred, it's the same old, really. This is exactly what you expect from Fred. Again, he's not the best centre mid. I'll say it every time. He's not a centre mid like Paul Pogba that can have so many talents towards his game. But he does the gritty work. He does the hard work. He does the work that many players on this team will not do or will shy away from doing. So that's why Fred plays consistently. And I'm happy that he's doing that. And I'm happy Ollie's giving him that chance. I'm giving him a 7 out of 10. He could be contention for man of the match, but I'm going to give it to somebody else, unfortunately. But I thought Fred had a good game, and that cannot be ignored. Nemanja Matic. Look, honestly, did I notice Nemanja Matic that much? Not really. But what I can say is this team looks a lot more confident with Nemanja Matic starting for Manchester United than I believe of Scott McTominay. And yes, Scott McTominay had a good cameo off the bench, but I thought Nemanja Matic had a little bit of calmness. It's just this type of situation. And again, he did his role well, played the ball when it needed to be played, defended when he needed to defend. He covered positions like the left-back position where Alex Telles was going forward. This is what you expect from Nemanja Matic. This is why he's so good at what he does. He is not in his prime centre defensive midfielder like he was for Chelsea, but he's very capable at that job. And at Manchester United, at least for the time being, we need to hope that he can continue doing that. Now, ultimately, I don't know if he'll be starting against the Champions League side in Istanbul, and I don't know if he'll be playing against Southampton. Again, Ollie said in the press conference after predicting his team that Scott McTominay has travelled for all over the world today in the past international break, and that is why he got his rest. So there's no real indication that Scott McTominay's been dropped for a reason of performances. It's more of the lack of fitness, I guess. So I expect Scott McTominay to play in the future, which we'll have to wait and see if that works out, because so far it hasn't worked out for the most part. Anyway, I'm going to give Nemanja Matic a 6.5 out of 10. I thought Fred was the better midfielder today, and maybe I am wrong about that. I feel like a lot of people will give Nemanja Matic a high score just because of the presence that he brings. But ultimately, again, the way that I saw the game, and I don't really I'm more of a defensive guy than an offensive guy, so I look at the defense more. And with Nemanja Matic, he does the defensive things well, but I didn't notice him that much on the ball and passing. I thought he just had a very solid game today overall. That's just the way that I see it. Bruno Fernandes, the ultimate difference maker in this game. I'm giving Bruno Fernandes the man of the match, and I'm giving him a very, very generous 8 out of 10 to be fair. I thought Bruno Fernandes was probably, for most people, a 7, but he's an 8 for me because he scored the crucial goal. The penalty, of course, and he was able to bring people into the game very late on when we had opportunities to score, and he was the key difference maker there. He was the first one forward, he was the first one to win the ball back and move it, able to make those passes, and we had a few opportunities because of that. But unfortunately, I think a lot of our team was so defensive minded after the first goal that those opportunities didn't come out to be. Now, Cavani had a few opportunities. Martial had a few opportunities. Rashford had a very good opportunity, played from Bruno Fernandes. So many key opportunities, and none of them turned out to be the right ones to score the goal. Rashford's one should have been a goal. Martial's one should have been a goal. And even to an extent, Cavani's. Cavani had a few chances of goal. So I can't say that he was standout, but I can say that he was definitely man of the match, in my eyes at least. And again, he made the very key difference. Another goal to his tally. Fantastic opportunities, good created chances. Again, not many people will say that Bruno had a great game, especially if no one watched the game and just looked at the stat 1-0. But yeah, if you watch the game, I think most people will say Bruno had a good game. Let's go on into the attackers. Juan Mata. I don't know if I should give Juan Mata a 6 or a 5 because I didn't notice him at all. And again, he turns the ball over from the right wing. I still have this persistence that Ollie is doing the wrong thing playing Juan Mata on the right wing. I still think it's bizarre. I still think that we have Donny van de Beek that could probably do it better. And I think we even saw that to an extent today. I don't know, I mean, Juan Mata did get the penalty for us. It was his cross that gave away the penalty for West Brom. I'm going to give him a 6. I think it's time to be generous. But I don't want to see him playing against Southampton, to be honest. I think Southampton, they're 5th in the league right now. I feel like we would end up costing us big time if we play Juan Mata against Southampton. With a game like West Brom, I expected Juan Mata to play. And I actually got a lot of the team predictions right for this game as well, except for Scott McTominay. Everybody else was bang on, to be honest. So I expected Juan Mata to play, but I don't want to see him play against Southampton, especially with his performance today. Not particularly noticeable at all. Turned the ball over in very, very tough situations. He did get the penalty for us, so I guess that balances out to a 6. Marcus Rashford. I thought Marcus Rashford and Martial both had very good games. However, I can't really see Marcus Rashford getting a 7 for me. I'm going to give him a 6. With Marcus Rashford, it was very, very simple. He had a lot of good threats at goal today. He had good shots on goal, good passes, good crosses into the box. And ultimately, the one that should have been a goal was saved by a fantastic goalkeeper in Sam Johnson, it looks like. He had a fantastic game. He saved a goal that Marcus Rashford should have scored, to be honest. He should have scored, but again, it's a beautiful save. But overall, that's what I give Marcus Rashford. And I actually thought, and look, the commentators might think differently to me, and that's fine. But for Anthony Martial, I actually thought he had a good game. I'm going to give Martial a 7 because he created a lot of opportunities. Did he have a goal today? No. He didn't have a goal today. He should have had a goal today, but he didn't. He had a few opportunities at goal. He had fantastic touches to scare defenders. He made a lot of opportunities for the likes of Cavani and for Bruno. He made a lot of things happen today. Yes, he played a little bit better off the left, to be honest, than a striker. And I like to see that we are interchanging him because he can play good in both areas. And that's what Manchester United should be doing, interchangeability. That's what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer preaches at the forward position. And you need that within a team. You need to have interchangeability. So I thought Martial was great today. Again, he looked very tired towards the end. And that's a big issue because obviously I believe he had an injury for France. So he might end up missing the Champions League game. But hopefully not. He did look very knackered. Again, people, the commentators and analysis had a go at Anthony Martial saying he's not a proper number 9. Maybe he isn't a proper number 9, but he's definitely a number 9 and he can play there. He might not be the out-and-out number 9 like what Lukaku was or what a Harry Kane is or what a Cavani is, but he can play that position. I'm frustrated that people still don't see that with Martial. I mean, 23 goals last season and people saying he's not a number 9. I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Just stop that. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to give Martial a 7. I really thought he was a 7 out of 10. Anyway, that's just my opinion. If you agree or disagree, that's up to you. Let's go to the bench. 3 substitutions today. First one was, I think Cavani was the first one that came on. Cavani was very interesting because, again, we saw the interchangeability. Cavani played on the left wing, and that's something I didn't expect Manchester United to ever try and pull off, but I think they did that. He didn't play well on the left wing, to be honest. He was much better down the middle, and that's, of course, what you expect from Edinson Cavani. But funnily enough, I believe he played left wing for PSG a lot of the time when Zlatan was in that team. So it's good to see that maybe we've done a little bit of research on Edison Cavani and noticed that he has played left wing before, and maybe he could do it for Manchester United, allowing the interchangeability on the wings and up front, potentially. Maybe it was just the situation at the time, they interchanged, who knows. But I'm going to give Cavani a 6. He had a lot of opportunities scuffed. He kicked a lot of his shots. But again, he had the opportunities to create something, and he didn't do that much, to be honest. So 6 out of 10. Scott McTominay, very, very similar. 6 out of 10. Had a good cameo off the bench. He beat a lot of players. Again, he's the energy player that you bring on. I really think Scott McTominay is a lot more dangerous on the bench coming in for Manchester United, especially if we need a goal, to be honest, than attacking, then coming and starting. Because, again, the energy that he brings off the bench, so many players from West Brom were extremely knackered, and you can tell. And all you see is Scott McTominay winning the ball from the back and just running it and taking on players because they're so tired, and Scott McTominay's out there just doing his thing. At least that's what I saw from this game. And Donny van de Beek. It's a disgrace that Donny van de Beek only got 10 minutes today. I'm just going to come out and say it's a disgrace. How is this guy getting 10 minutes every single game? I mean, I understand that it's patience and you need to have patience in this league, but come on, like seriously, there are players that he should be starting over. He should be starting over Juan Mata. He should be starting over Paul Pogba. I know Paul Pogba had an ankle injury. I shouldn't even be mentioning Paul Pogba, to be honest, but when Paul Pogba comes back, he will probably start over Donny van de Beek. Donny van de Beek deserves the chance to start, man. Give him that opportunity. Let him see what he could do. We talk about rotation, trying to keep these players healthy. If you're going to keep playing the same starting lineup every single game, which is something that, again, a lot of people don't like the starting lineups that we play. If you're going to keep doing it every game, you're eventually going to get those players hurt. So we need to see that rotation, and I hope Ollie will finally give this guy a chance because I think he's consistent and I think he deserves the opportunity. That's it. If I had to give Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a grading today for his team performance and his team selection, I'm very happy that I got a lot of the team selection right in my match predictions. I'm going to give Ollie a 6 because it's not the best starting lineup you could put out there, but with what he had to deal with, Victor Lindelof was a question today, Marcus Rashford was a question today, Anthony Martial was a question today. A lot of them found ways to actually get themselves into this team, and that's what you like to see. So I'm going to give him a 6. He did what he was supposed to do. We got the 1-0 win. The next game for the Premier League is Southampton, but the Champions League is up next, Istanbul. A win is vital there because if we lose that game again to them, qualification becomes so much more difficult, and we're going to have to verse two tough sides, which we have beaten, to be fair. We have to verse them to try and get our qualification process. We're still the odds-on favourites to qualify at the moment for Manchester United. The win against Istanbul is crucial to the qualification process because then we'll only need 1 point to guarantee us to go through most likely. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I tried to make this a little bit shorter. Hopefully that's okay. Have a wonderful day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that victory. Moved up in the league. We're above Man City. First time in a while I've seen us being above Man City. Pretty good. But again, we're still too low for Manchester United standings. Have a wonderful day. Take care and peace.